Oh, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Mr. Carnage, and today we're going to talk about something that is more of a what if could happen than that it's going to happen. And what I'm talking about is so, with the increasing price of technology coming from China, part of this bill that was passed was that it's called like the Build Back America plan and the American Recovery Plan. And part of what that is giving money to companies to increase chip production here in the States. And why that's a big deal is between the United States and China with the tariffs and kind of the bad relations that the two countries have been having over the course of the last, 4, 5, 6 years. It's actually becoming just as expensive to make the chips here in the United States as it is to, you know, just buying them from China overseas. So the process is basically we send silicon to China. China then turns and makes them into chips using cheap labor, and then putting them in technology, and then sending and selling that technology to the United States for cheaper. And while many people, I guess, go that route and buy, you know, the cheaper tech, it's becoming more apparent that it's no longer, for the foreseeable future, anyways, going to be the case. So, what could happen is companies like Intel and Motorola, companies like that do make chips here in the States, could end up getting some government funds to start chip production. And why that definitely helps us out is with Intel's new graphics card. I know that deep down they don't really want to use TSMC because, obviously everybody's using them. They're so back ordered, and it's really not going to help them in the short term. Because if Intel could come in right now within the next couple of months and start getting graphics cards made and sent out, I think that they could actually grab a big portion of the market share right now with the video cards that you can't get having the availability. I think would help them out a lot because people would be like, hey, I can't get an NVIDIA card, I can't get an AMD card, I can get an Intel card, so I'm going to go that route. And I think that that would help them get the confidence of the consumer market to say, hey, you know what, Intel actually makes a pretty decent video card. It was available. I can get one. I could get two, whatever the case is. I'm going to go ahead and go that route. So that is a big deal, definitely. So for the foreseeable future, one of the guesses that we could definitely make is that the United States is going to ramp up their chip production here at home and kind of cut the dependency of Chinese technology off a bit. So, that being said, obviously, it used to be more expensive, paying American laborers to do the work to make this technology, but it's becoming increasingly just as expensive to do it overseas. Now, we used to get a lot of our stuff from Japan, but Japan is kind of like a little America now. It is kind of disheartening in a way that a lot of their identity and culture has been overshadowed by the United States in that sense. But they have high labor costs, just like we do here in the States. So we don't get, the things from Japan like we used to, you know, 30 years ago. So, with that being said, a lot of this is just because of bad relations. And I don't think there's one fix to fix the relationship between the United States and China. And even if there was, it would still take time. So I think we can all kind of hang our hat on over the next couple of years seeing, America definitely increasing their technology production. Um, so yeah, I don't think it's ever going to go back to the way it was, where cheap technology was easier to get your hands on. and that you're going to be paying a little bit more money for this stuff from here on out. But in a lot of ways, that's a good thing because the availability for these products will be much higher, obviously. It creates jobs, which is obviously a good thing. So, I mean, there is a lot of benefits to it other than just the high price tag, unfortunately. So, I think people are going to have to start kind of buckling down and realizing that this is a serious possibility that you may no longer be getting cheap phones and tablets and computer parts and things from overseas. Um, Now, also with the mining industry, they're figuring out ways to use SSD drives to increase their hash rate and things like that. So we're already planning on here in the next couple of months, a giant shortage on storage devices. So you might want to, if you're thinking about getting a computer and you're thinking about getting a decent SSD drive at a decent price, I would do it now. Um, before this all comes to a head, and you know a terabyte M2 would normally run you like $115, and that's probably going to start running you, $280, $300 here soon. So if you don't want to pay that kind of price, I would definitely get on the ball now. Get yourself a decent drive. So now with all of that out of the way, I myself personally am kind of looking forward to seeing if Intel can come into the discrete video card market and be a big boy and be a big player. Um, I'm interested to see because my past history with Intel hasn't exactly been the best. Um, Simply just because their price points have always been a lot higher for the most part, and they don't necessarily always make better products than anybody else. So I'm hoping myself that they want to earn the respect of the market, so they're going to come in at a lower price point with their cards. Now, I've seen as much about the specs as been released. Um, so they should be on par with their cards with an RTX 3060 or 3070. Um, it's wait to be seen, but if they can hit that mark coming right out of the gate, I think a lot of people will be impressed. So I'm hoping, like I said, that they come out with a lower price point, knowing full well, like, hey, there's a shortage on graphics cards. Um, let's come out the gate a little cheap here, just to gain the confidence of the consumer in the market, and then later down the road, if their cards end up being as good as Nvidia, then people will pay those prices. But if they come out of the gate and they're super expensive and they're not as good as an AMD card even, um, they're not going to gain the confidence of the consumer market. You, being a tech head just like me, we all know, full well how we are. We could be very judgmental. So, saying that, of course, in the best of ways, that we're a hard consumer to win over. You know, we're not the kind of people that's like easily bought or paid off. We like what we like, and when it comes to computer parts, that's just the way it is. So, Intel should know this by now. I mean, they've been in the computer world and industry for decades, so I mean, and they obviously by now should know their customers. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? You think that's what's going to happen? If you've been paying attention to the relations between the U.S. and China, definitely let me know in the comments below. And hopefully we'll see some relief from this technology shortage, and all of us can get back to doing what we love. And I will catch you guys all on the next video.